welcome to another episode of Random Ish with Sanja. What's crackalacking? How you doing? How you feeling? Oh my God, I'm so excited that it is finally staying lighter longer. I live on the East Coast, and I am so sick and tired of. I'm sure everybody is of the whole being dark at 4:30. Yeah, I now know where all those senior citizen jokes come from. It's because of people living on the East Coast that yeah, when it hits 4:30 and it's dark, you're like, "I'm sorry. It's time for me to go to bed now?" Oh my goodness. All right, so we got the lines here. So for if you see me doing all of this, that's why. We got the lines today. Yeah. And also try yeah, girl, please. Anyways, I got a good show for you today. Seen a lot of information. Of course, we know that the world is. We just can't catch a break, right? We got to go out of one crisis into another. Yeah, we'll talk all about all of the good stuff. What's happening with that? There's some good news for those of us who are living in CT, self expansion, some nerd in me, and of course, our random question. It's all coming up. Hey, and welcome back. Hope you enjoyed your 2-second break. All right, so like I said, I got some crazy news articles that I came across that I have to share with you. One of them, I really don't even feel like giving him a time of day, but at the same time, I do feel like, hey, you never know who's watching, and we might be able to get somebody to do something about this guy. I'm talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, okay. He's getting 1 minute, not even that. So apparently, he wants to sue the celebrities who've been talking smack about him. Have you heard of this? Girl, yeah, okay, that's enough of that. He trying to sue Whoopi. You better go on ahead and go somewhere, bruh. Yeah, and some other crazy news, the gas prices. I think I saw yesterday they're finally starting to go down again because I don't know about you, but I'm kind of like, I'm sorry, but how is it that we're even able to get price gouged if what's happening that they say that we only get 10% of our crude oil from Russia, and it's not like we're not sitting on like barrels of oil. Like it's not like we're like we don't have no gas. Oh my god, what we gonna do? So then we got to raise the prices. Like we have oil in reserves, and the whatever we're buying now is going into the reserves. It's not being used immediately. So um we need our people who are supposed to be our leaders to step up and do something about this because it's getting a little crazy. And it's something that I think that too many people are doing is they use disadvantages and, disenfranchise, however you want to say it. They use the bad times for their own gain. And y'all are just the real devils, so to speak, the real bad people. I'm just saying, there's a whole nother line of so we got the gas prices that are incredibly high, but that's not the only thing that's been affected by this whole pandemic. Of course, we've got the shortages. You see, I just went through it myself. Try to go get coffee cups, couldn't go get coffee cups, so I could save money by not going to a Dunkin' Donuts. Not that I don't love y'all, love me some Dunkin', I do, but sis has to save some money and stuff. You know what I mean? By using the coffee that you can just heat and drink at home and take it with you wherever you got to go. However, I went to the store to go get me some of those hot cups and could not find any. I was in another state, went to the store to go get some cream, couldn't find any. So, yes, there are some crazy shortages going on. And again, I don't understand that either. Okay. Anyway, I feel like people are playing games with us. They're using this time period in history to play games and to fatten their pockets. Well, there are some states who are looking to make sure that landlords can't fatten their pockets too much. The funny thing is that I am actually in this situation as well, where rent increases are just oh my gosh, right? All over the place. People are being evicted. Rent is increasing all over. And again, there's a lot of jobs, but at the same time, people are also realizing So I'm going to go and work my ass off and still not be able to pay my bills. Wait a second. Hold up. How about I try going for my dreams? There's a lot of people realizing that, right? However, we still need employees to make America run and right. And small businesses apparently make up for majority of the business in America, right? And they employ a lot of people. So if we know that small businesses is what's basically the backbone of America, and you know that small businesses are kind of hurting right now and they cannot really pay their employees what they'd want to. We already have all the argument about raising the minimum wage. Then why is it that landlords think they can raise the rents crazy, crazy amounts? Oh my God. I know somebody whose landlord's trying to increase their rent by $300. 280 to be exact. So there are 5 states that have got rent control. We've got Washington, D.C., New York, New Jersey, Oregon, California, and Maryland. Those places, which are quite expensive, by the way, they do have the rent control, so the landlords can't raise it too much. However, there are 6 places that are being reported right now where they are fighting to get a little bit of rent control happening there. Boston, Colorado, Florida, Montclair, New Jersey, Minnesota, and Santa Ana, California. They're all working to get something going to where there's a little bit of rent control. But I think that, I get it. We can't necessarily say that, okay, you can only cap it off at so much. I get it that in certain places like New York, if there wasn't rent control, oh my God, regular folks wouldn't even be able to stay in New York because they would just price it out of control, right? So I think that I understand why it's prohibited in 37 states, but it definitely needs to be looked at because you can't just be having people just be unregulated and just be like, you know what? I don't, there's nothing wrong with you, but I'm trying to get like $1,000 increase. I need like $1,000 increase, and just, increasing their rent. So there are some states that are working on proposals. They've already been written and they are heading towards legislation, but they have not been passed yet. Arizona, Florida, Illinois, Hawaii, um, Kentucky, New Jersey, New York, and Washington are all working on it. They've introduced some proposals. So hopefully the government will do something. And again, I understand you got to have the different states and city laws and all of that good stuff, but there definitely has to be something where, it should be only an increase by 2 to 10% per year and make it reasonable because everybody's hurting. We're all in the same boat. And, we are all expecting our leaders to do a little something to make life a little bit easier, right? Put the clamp on the inflation. Put the clamp on it. Put the clamp on it. Anyways, oh my gosh. All right, so we got some other good information about putting some clamps on it. What? Actually, they're taking the clamps off. Release us. Let us be free. Stop saying that people who smoke weed are bad. No, man. Listen, you can smoke some trees instead of taking them pills. I am not giving you medical advice. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And for those of you who sometimes and over medication can happen too, because again, I'm a big believer. Our thoughts create things. I have lots of injuries myself. So this is a sister who is preach it to the choir. Well, actually, however you want to say that. I've been there too. So there's some good news coming up for the Connecticutans right after this.
The Clothesline, world-class service with a personal touch.
Well. Living in Connecticut, guess what? You smoke some trees? Guess what? CT Insider is reporting that soon come, baby, your trees will be able to be delivered to you. Yes. What was that, Mr. Happy in Half Baked? Was that what it was? Dave Chappelle's, remember that movie? Where they were delivering the trees? Yo. Guess what's happening, guys? I know, I kind of already told you. So Soon come, you will be able to have your trees delivered right to you. It will first be the retail stores will be the ones doing it first. That will be happening probably later on this year when retailers are allowed to sell, and this is because of the recreational laws that have been passed. And after the retailers, then it will be the third party delivery services that will be able to bring it to you. So Mr. Happy Time is expanding. Woo! I'm sorry. It's about time. I'm just saying. Yo, I'm just saying. Listen, you guys let all this other stuff happen. You need to let people go on ahead and smoke their little trees at home. They ain't finna do nothing but sit in the house, maybe fuck, eat. You know what I'm saying? And they're not finna bother you, you know? Get happy, start thinking deeply. You know what I'm saying? Feel their spirituality. Like, you know, I'm just saying. So I think that this is a great thing. This is man, once again. All right, Connecticut. Yeah, this is one thing that I could definitely get behind. Oh, hold up. I got, of course, I'm like running out of time. We still got like things to talk about with the nerd and me and the oh God. Here we go with the not talking again. That's because you know what? It's time for the nerd and me. Fresh to death. What? Okay, girl. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, anyway. Nerd and me. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so the moon has glass balls. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so that was my clickbait for you. I just wanted to say that the moon has glass balls. But anyways, yes, it's actually true. You know how when you go walking along the beach, you find sometimes the beach glass and all of that good stuff? Well, if we were to go and take a walk along the moon's surface, we would find that the moon doesn't just have moon glass, it has moon balls. Yeah, man. So apparently, you know, China has been, they've got their rover up there on the moon and it's been exploring the dark side of the moon. And it happened to find two little spears on the dark side that actually the makeup of the spears is not like the other glass that has been found on the moon. You know, we're all just hoping and wishing that we'd be able to be like, oh my God, there's aliens. We found it. Ah, evidence. Ah. I don't think that it would come out in mainstream media anyway, although I do think that, you know, there are things that are possible. You know, things have been declassified. There are things that are unanswered, but according to mainstream, it's not aliens, people. It is because of the volcanic eruptions or because of the things that have hit the surface of the moon, causing an eruption, glass, dirt, yada, 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 space. Don't understand. It comes into glass balls. Okay. All right. We're just going to leave that alone. You know, I do still wonder. I'm just saying the lights on the moon. There's so much light coming from the moon. I think that that's why we're exploring it, right? Because there are many things that we just don't know, but we get excited when we find a little something, something. So the moon has glass balls. Just wanted to tell you that one more time. So something else that I wanted to talk to you about with the nerd and me. Remember, we've been talking about that whole DART system, right? The early detection of the meteorites and all this good time stuff. Well, although there's a lot of craziness happening on Europe soil, there was an astronomer who just saw something amazing. It is a Hungarian astronomer, Christian Zanecki. I hope I am saying the name correctly. They just spotted a fast-moving object that was headed towards Earth, and guess what, guys? It struck about 9:22 GMT time around Iceland. It's about 3 kilotons of energy. So it had about 1/5 instead of the atomic energy of the Hiroshima bomb. So a lot of energy just got released. They said it's about 6 feet to 9 feet in diameter, and it just hit near Iceland. So As if you don't need any other reason to be like, oh, Lord, Listen, we take it as reasons to make sure that we are living and abundant in health, wealth, love, and fun. Because I'm not saying that I think that something's going to come and hit us and like destroy the planet. I'm just saying there's a lot of things going on that you might not even be aware of. And when you know some of these things, it makes you want to live your life even more. I'm just I'm just saying, right? Lord. Also, guess what? There's supposed to be another solar storm that's going to be happening. Had a very fire conversation about solar energy and our computers and our cars and all of our things and systems and things. So it is something that we definitely actually want to start paying attention to, those solar storms, because as we move into the fifth dimension and the 5G, guess what? That stuff is actually going to be affecting us a little bit more than we ever thought before. But that's all right. That's all right. Because we're going to live our life anyway, right? Yeah. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. We'll be right back. Hey, and I'm back. What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on? Okay, so I'm still trying to make sure that we, of course, got a little time for the random question. Yeah, so interesting about the material that they are finding on the moon. I just, because I've got a telescope, and when I go outside, if you're friends with me on social media, by the way, SONJADENYSE. You saw the other day I was just out looking at the moon and looking through the telescope. I wish I could sometimes had a camera that was dope enough to show you what I'm looking at. But it is fascinating, to me anyway, looking at the different things that you can see. Also, the other day, something crashed into the moon. Oh, but we won't get into that. And it was videotaped, and they saw it, and they were like, oh my God, wait, what is that? Aliens. No, stop. Let me. I am kidding. Okay. Anyways, something that is nothing to kid about, but I used to all the time. Relationships. So I was reading this article, and I think we all know that love is super important, right? But I think that today we kind of all have this whole expectation that people don't really know what love is, or maybe it's that we think that we're all so damn damaged, and so if you can find somebody who can actually, give you real love, then, hold on to them tightly. Or really, I think what a lot more, especially women, are feeling is that they're just, we don't want to generalize, but there's a lot of guys out there who like to dip their stick, so to speak. And there's a lot of girls. Okay. I know I hear the fellas going, there's a lot of girls who like to dip their stick as well. So I just want to say before we get into this next part, I am not talking to them. However, the news that I have to share might make you change your mind just a little bit. I think that when we all see people in love, or we see older couples, we all go, oh, like the new Airbnb commercial with the vacation, the older couple, and then you got Beyonce and Jay-Z doing their, all I need in life is me and my girlfriend type thing, right? Here's the thing. I think we all look at that and we go, oh, that's so beautiful. And then we secretly go, but I'll never find it, or that's not realistic, or it's because they got good credit and they got money. That's why they found love. I don't know about you, but sometimes I think you got to have good credit and money in order to really even get close to finding love, or be completely broke together. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let me stop. The article that I just read the other day was talking about the psychology of self-expansion and relationships. Now, I don't know about you, but I know that for myself, I have before, and I think it's easier for women that we sometimes get into relationships and we kind of lose ourselves because we're like so in love and oh my God, you're so handsome and you make me feel so good and I just want to help you and don't let him have a business, girl. Oh my God, I can help you with this, right? The things that women do when you fall in love. And I think that there's been so many disappointments that people then, of course, 'cause I've done it too, where you go, well, since you can't beat him, join him. And then you start to develop this like calloused attitude towards relationships, and you actually might be hurting yourself in the long run because you just keep attracting crap. You know what I mean? And it's really because of your beliefs, not because all men are dogs or all chicks don't, are hoes or whatever. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife, whatever. This article that I was reading was about the importance of self-expansion in relationships, and that the relationships that actually survive and that are really beneficial and actually like literally can help you live a better quality of life is the ones that have the or with two people that are aware and are working on their self-expansion and yet coming together and being one or a unit, I would say, right? Because let's not come together to be one, but to be a unit. So I thought that that would definitely be something that we should all be like working on and looking into. And in case you're a single chick or guy and you're like, but I don't have anybody, because basically it was saying that people who are self-expansion, awareness, and in a relationship, that they basically got a better life. Okay, that's not really what it said, but but it was pretty much alluding to, of course, we all know when you're in a relationship and you're in love and it's great, it's wonderful to have somebody to talk to, bounce ideas off of, lounge around with, all of that good stuff. But again, what happens sometimes is that you lose yourself in those relationships. And for those people who have been able to keep their own personal self identity in the relationship, those people are the most successful. So, because host season is coming. If you are in a relationship already, we know that this is the time where you can either go a little crazy because your bae, male or female, is now hanging out with their friends and being outside all the time. So I think that this could be a time period for those in relationships to really work on your self-expression and self-expansion, meditation, teach yourself a new skill, do something. But girl, the point is, if you are in a relationship, this is the time, okay, to make sure that you go out and get yourself a hobby, all right? Don't be so available to your mans, all right? Okay. And somehow this is going to make it a lot easier and better for you and your relationship, all right? Okay. Okay. I'm totally with it because I feel like that's one of the reasons that keeps me from, diving headfirst and being like, I'm in a committed relationship, because I be like, yo, I don't want to lose myself because I know I'll be loving hard, yo. You know what I mean? And if it's good, well then, honey, I don't really want to do anything else. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to work, get the D, work, get the D, work, you know what I'm saying? And not really, guys. Okay, all right, okay. I'm just again, sometimes I say things because it sounds good, but there is some truth into that, because there 100%. There's a little bit of truth in that. That if it's good and I'm in a really great relationship, then I can kind of just be like, I don't really care about nothing else. Everything else is bull crap anyway. The only thing that matters is love. So for those of us who are like that, we got to stop doing that. All right. Because we're kind of setting ourselves up for failure. And am I in a see? You see what happened there? I just cornered myself into and I'm not even okay. I'm gonna take a breakdown. Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to Random Ish. All right, let's get our it had 3D TV, that would have been cool, right? Anyway, all right, so let's get our random question. Let's see what's popping. 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 I got some good amount of questions in here this time. What? Let's see what's popping. Let's see what's popping. Okay, let me stop. The people listening are like, why is she saying that? What's happening? Oh, wow. Okay. So I love when the random question is totally related to something I was just talking about. All right. So here's a question. I have no cameraman to say zoom in on this, but it is love without sex possible? Bum, bum, bum. I mean, obviously, right? I mean, there's couples that have had physical injuries or things that have happened where they can no longer express themselves, in that way. So I think that as far as that is concerned, like the actual question of like physicality, if somebody's injured, is love without sex possible? Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to say, for as far as that's concerned, yes. Now I'm going to talk about people who are completely capable. Um, there's nothing, I don't even want to say it like that, but they are free from any type of things that are impairing their bodily functions or mental capacities. So, with that being said, what if you fall in love and you're like in love with somebody, right? And like, so you did like the whole 6 month thing or something like that, right? Like, you guys are like, oh, we're gonna not be physical, we're just gonna, you know what I'm saying? And then you get it on and it totally sucks. I mean, is the love gonna be strong enough to overcome? Will it enhance it? I mean, there's plenty of women who are in sexless, or even guys, right? There's plenty of people who are in sexless relationships. But are you happy? So, I mean, I guess love is possible without sex, but this is just a really loaded question. Yeah. But are they happy? Or did you find another way? Like, wow. In the long and short of it, yes, love without sex is possible, but is it as much fun?